Bo.
Hello and welcome to Inspirational Stories. Today is very special episode and it is our first episode. In fact, we are going to start inspirational stories for children and parents who like to join with us. They can join with their children. And inspirational stories, we all like stories. Stories that motivate us, inspire us, and especially build characters. And those stories we are like to going to share today, and we have very gifted and talented two guest, young guest, I would say. One is Adian Absar and one is Mahdiyah Zahraa Khansur. I would like to welcome both of you. Hello, Adian and Zara. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
MashaAllah. Zara, how are
Alhamdulillah.
you, Zara?
Alhamdulillah.
Uncle, can you see us clearly?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. So, who today, we are trying to. It's a month of Ramadan, and everything is hopefully everything is going smooth and fine. Today, we thought, we had a practice session. Do you remember both?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, and you both of you like stories, don't you?
Yes.
I do, yes.
Okay. So today, first of all, why do you like stories? Tell me, who like to go first, Zara or Adi?
Stories are very inspirational and they have a good message and moral.
Okay, that's good. And
And
Zara?
and sometimes stories teach you stuff.
Hmm.
Like to be kind and to be nice to people and what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said and everything.
Ah, that's brilliant. Yes, through stories we can learn about history and Prophet's life and life of other people, isn't it? Brilliant. So what story? Who is going to share first, Zara or Adi?
Diane, you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
What do you like to share today?
This story is called The Priceless Stone.
Okay.
One day a young boy asks his father, what is the value of his life?
Hmm.
Instead of answering, a father told his son to take this rock and go sell it at a market. If anybody asks the price, raise two fingers and don't say anything. The boy then went to the market and asked a woman, how much is this rock? I want to put it in my garden. The boy didn't say anything and raised up two fingers. The woman said, $2, I'll take it. And then the boy went home and told his father that a woman wants to buy the rock for $2. The father then said, I want you to take the rock to a museum. If anybody wants to buy it, don't say a word and raise two fingers. The boy then went to a museum, and a man wanted to buy the rock. The boy didn't say a word and just raised two fingers, and the man said, $200, I'll take it. The boy was shocked and went running home and told his father, a man wants to buy this rock for $200. His father then said, the last place I want you to go is to take this rock to a precious stone store. Show it to the owner and don't say a word. If he asks the price, just raise up two fingers. The owner of the shop said, this is one of the rarest stones in the whole world. How much would you take it for? The boy raised up two fingers. $200,000? I'll take it. The boy, not knowing what to say, ran home to his father. Father, there's a man that wants to buy the stone for $200,000. His father then said, son, do you know the value of your life now? You see, it doesn't matter where you come from, or where you're born, the color of your skin, or how much money you were born into. It matters where you decide to place yourself, the people you surround yourself with, and how you choose to carry yourself. You may have lived your whole life thinking that you are a $2 stone. You may have lived your whole life surrounded by people who saw your worth for only $200, but everyone has a diamond inside of them, and we can choose to surround ourselves with people that see our value and see the diamond inside of us. We can choose to put ourselves in a market or put ourselves in a precious stone store, and you can choose to see the value in other people. You can help other people see the diamond inside of them.
Oh, that's very interesting. Zara, did you like the story?
Yes.
What do you like the most?
I liked the ending part when the father said that it doesn't matter where you're from, your skin color is, and other stuff that he said.
Hmm. Okay, that's brilliant. Do you like to ask your Adian Bhaiya any question from
Yes.
his story? Okay.
So, what did you learn from this story?
I learned that from this story is that you choose your own value, and people will think of you as they will always think of you as below or above someone else. So it doesn't matter who you are or where you came from.
Okay. So,
Okay.
my story is one announcement. The last bell was ringing. The students were getting ready to go home. Anas
Okay.
was putting his books and pencils into his bag.
Hmm.
Then he saw a pen under his desk. He
Hmm.
picked it up. He knew that it was not his pen. It was probably my classmate's pen, he thought.
Okay.
He
Bit
sits,
louder. Bit louder, please, Zara.
he sits just in front of me.
Hmm.
Anas went home with the pen in his bag. In
Hmm.
the evening, when he was doing his homework, he saw the pen in his box. He asked his father about it. What should I do? I think this pen belongs to my friend. His father answered him and said, if you find something, you must tell everyone about it. Do not hide it. Try to find the owner and give it to him. This is what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said to do. Anas thanked his father for the advice. The next day, Anas told his teacher he wanted to say something to the class.
Hmm.
She let him speak. He said he found a pen under his desk. His friend Salim raised his hand. He said the pen belonged to him. He took it from Anas and thanked him.
MashaAllah,
Okay.
MashaAllah.
That's very, very inspirational. Adi, do you like to ask Zara any questions from her story?
What did you learn from this story?
If you find something, you must tell everyone about it. Do not hide it. Try to find the owner and give it to him.
Sahih.
Okay. That's
Well,
a
hadith,
very
Sahih Muslim.
strong message, isn't it?
Well,
And yeah,
well,
Zara, would you like to add anything else?
well,
No.
well, it's a hadith.
Okay.
I
It's
just wanted to
hadith
say that it's
of
a
our
hadith.
beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, isn't it?
Yes.
That's great. Yeah, we can learn from Prophet is the best role model for all mankind, isn't it? So we can learn the best message to how to live this life and how to make this life meaningful, beautiful in every aspect. That's those things we can learn from the stories of prophets as well. Inshallah, maybe in future we will bring some episode But today is our first episode, so we are trying to keep it simple and easy for everyone. So who is next? Adi, are you next?
I think so, yes. I'll go
Okay,
first.
yeah, we will go clockwise. One, you tell a story, then Azara, and then uh, you both have to listen very attentively to ask questions. Okay, so that your story, please.
This story is called An Evening Dinner with Father.
Mhm.
A son took his father to a restaurant for an evening dinner. Father, being very old and weak while eating, dropped food on his shirt and trousers.
Mm.
Other diners watched him in disgust, while his son was calm. After he finished eating, his son, who was not at all embarrassed, quietly took him to the washroom, wiped the food particles, removed the stains, and combed his hair, and fitted his spectacles firmly. When they came out, the entire restaurant was watching them in dead silence, not able to grasp how someone could embarrass themselves publicly like that. The son settled the bill and started walking out with his father. At that time, an old man amongst the diners called out to the son and asked him, "Don't you think you have left something behind?" The son replied, "No, sir, I haven't." The old man retorted, "Yes, you have. You left a lesson for every son and his father."
Mm.
The restaurant went silent.
Okay, the end.
The end.
Okay, Zara, your turn to ask questions to your Adian Bhaiya.
Okay, I have the same question as before because I don't know any other questions. So, what
Okay.
did you learn from this story?
Mm.
I learned from this story is you shouldn't be embarrassed of your parents or whoever is with you because they're the ones who raised you and helped you. And you will one day have to help them like how they helped you.
Mm. No, isn't it brilliant, Zara? Isn't it great message if your parents looking after you now when you are child, and we have the same responsibility, same we should have same values to look after our parents like they did for our grandparents, isn't it so?
Yes.
Did you like the story?
Yes, really.
Really? Okay. Are you going to make good iftar for your parents today tonight?
Yes, I always help them. Before I help my mom, dad, and everybody.
Okay. Okay. Maybe Adi will make some good special iftar for her mom tonight. Okay.
I'll try my best.
Okay. That's fine because your parents are supporting you, helping you every day, and same responsibility goes to them. And our prophet said, we should look after our parents, especially mother is three times more important. So yeah, and that's if we look after our parents, paradise is there for the children who look after their parents, isn't it? So it's a God-given responsibility. Anyways, so who is it's next is Zara. Ready
Yeah,
for your second story?
yeah.
Okay, please carry on.
The unknown. It was Saturday. Anas went out with his father. Ahmad was going to pass by the place where he worked. The streets were very slippery, so Anas held his father's hand. Anas asked, "Daddy, when will it snow? If it snows a lot, we can make a snowman. We can have fun playing in the snow."
Hmm.
His father answered him. The Prophet Muhammad (SAW) said, "No one but Allah knows the future. It will snow when Allah wants it. We will have to wait and see." The father and son kept on walking slowly. The end.
Oh, very interesting. Adi, your turn to ask question.
What do you think was the purpose of the story? Why do you think the father told his son?
I think the father told his son that no one but Allah knows the future. Allah knows when what will happen and He can see everything.
Hmm. What a great message, isn't it? What a great message. People, everybody worried about future, but Allah said, rely on me and don't worry about future. Live your present moment, isn't it?
Yes.
And what a great message. We should always rely on our Creator, isn't it? Brilliant. Zara, thank you so much sharing such a beautiful story, message. And can I share with you, both of you, it's a bit, comical story, short one. It's your turn, but I'd like to share one thing for you. It's called Fear of God. Once there were two brothers who were very naughty. Always they were up to some mischief. One day their mother asked a priest to talk to her sons and put the fear of God in them so that they would mend their ways. The priest asked her to send her son to him one by one. Firstly, the younger brother went to the priest and sat by his side. The priest asked him in a very commanding voice, "Where is God?" The boy didn't react. When the priest asked again, the boy ran to his elder brother and said, "Do you know God is missing? And everybody think we are responsible for that."
Okay, that was very fun.
Very interesting.
So, okay, now both of you have to find the moral of the story. Or what's the message? What's the core message in there?
We have to believe in God without saying.
Yeah, my dad said that.
Your dad said that? Your dad
And
is helping you to pass the exam silently. Okay. Okay. That's good, isn't it? God, we can't see God, we can feel Him, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and what, Adi, do you like to add anything about the story?
I think the message is about how Allah is always watching, so no matter what you do or where you go, He will always be there.
Okay, exactly. He is supreme, so He knows everything, isn't He? So, anyway, who wants to share our next story? Or
What?
you can share poetry even if you like to.
Me?
Who like to go next? Adi or
I
Zahra?
think I can go next.
Okay, go on.
Okay, this story is called The Lazy Donkey.
Okay.
Bahola owns a donkey called Kahandia.
Hmm.
Bahola is a very tolerant and kind master. The
Mhm.
donkey is lazy and is always finding ways to avoid work. One day, while returning with loads of salt on his back,
Mhm.
Kahandia falls in the river. He realizes that the fall has lessened the weight of the sacks, and the salt has dissolved in the water. The next few days, Kahandia purposely falls into the water every day. Bahola is unhappy at the way Kahandia is behaving because he is losing money in the process. He decides to teach Kahandia a lesson.
Hmm.
The next day, instead of salt bags, he loads Kahandia's bag with cotton.
Mhm.
Kahandia is unaware of the changes.
Mhm.
As planned, he falls into the water and gets the bag wet. He is surprised to find the load unbearable. His otherwise master also started beating him.
Mhm.
Kahandia learns his lesson and starts behaving.
Behaving what properly.
Mhm.
Okay, Zara's chance to ask question.
okay, so what did you learn from this story?
I think you learn from the story that laziness never gets you anywhere, and it will never help you and make things worse for you.
Yeah, okay.
So, how do you overcome laziness? This is the question for both of you.
Mm,
By working hard and never giving up to and to overcome the fears of not doing things.
Hmm. And Zara, what do you think? How can we overcome laziness? Because inspirational stories has to inspire us, isn't it?
yes, so laziness is like when you don't want to do anything or
Hmm.
help anybody,
Hmm.
and you stay there doing nothing, eating and staying there, sleeping, not helping and stuff.
Hmm. How do you sometimes get lazy, or how do you overcome? Do you try to get help from your parents
Yes, all the time,
all the time?
even at homework.
You start homework, okay. And Adi, how do you get laziness? Get over laziness?
Well, sometimes on school days I want to sleep for a bit longer, but then I realize if I don't wake up and get ready, then I will be late. So that helps me overcome my laziness sometimes.
Is it true, or are you self-motivated, or do you get help from your parents?
Sometimes I think we
What?
all need help, so yes, I do sometimes get help from my mom.
So who help you the most?
Um, if I am sleeping a bit too much, then my mom can wake me. My mom sometimes wakes me up.
Okay, so she's your motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can be grateful for that. And who is your motivator, Zara?
Uh, my mom and my dad, so both of them.
Both of them. That,
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
that's brilliant. Okay, so are we going to? Would you like to listen one more comical story, or Zara like to share something?
I'd like to share something.
Yes, please go on.
Okay, this story is called Knowledge That Benefits None.
Okay, very
It
interesting.
was the class break. Two children were fighting. Miss Hasna, the teacher, came and stopped them. Then the bell rang, and both of them ran to their classes. Miss Hasna entered the classroom. She said to the children, I have taught you many things. I have taught you to love each other and to treat each other kindly. I have tried to teach you the good morals and behavior. Then she told them the saying of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Mhm.
The one who would have the worst position in Allah's sight on the day of resurrection would be learned man who did not profit from his learning.
Mhm.
The children needed this lesson. The teacher wanted them to learn about it, but she did not want to hurt their feelings. The end.
Oh, wow. Very, very interesting. Adi, your turn to ask question.
Why do you think the teacher told them about the story?
I think she told them because they were fighting, and to make things better, she told them the hadith.
Okay.
Hmm. Isn't it interesting? Very good morals and message is there, isn't it? Anyway, can I share a very short comical story again?
Yes.
Okay.
Because not to uh, be serious, just to make things lights up, isn't it? So this story called An Unfair World. One day, a man, while walking towards his office, saw a beggar coming to him. The beggar was a very bad condition. The beggar was in a very bad condition. He was barefoot, and his clothes were torn. When the beggar asked for money, the man said, "Why don't you work? Don't you feel ashamed asking people for money?" At this, the beggar replied, "I do feel ashamed asking for money, but once when I took money without asking, the police took me to jail." The man had no answer to this. He went to his way to the office.
Okay, so um, why do you think the beggar asked for money?
Beggar asked, "That's the habit, bad habits." And the people, as you, Adi, share a lazy donkey. They don't take responsibility. They don't go for work. They try to, uh, just seek help and not take responsibility for their own life, isn't it? So it's more self responsibility is more important, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, now whose turn? Anybody knows poetry?
Poetry বলো পারো
Okay.
any
Adi? Or poetry or any story? We will finish in 5 minutes, so up to you.
I think it'd be better for a story because I think
Who like to go for? We are finishing in 3 minutes actually. So who like to go first?
I have one story.
Okay, go on. Last story for the day.
This story is called The Smartest Man in the World.
Okay.
A doctor, a lawyer, a little boy, and a priest were out for a Sunday afternoon flight
Hmm.
on a small private plane. Suddenly the plane developed engine troubles. In spite of the best efforts of the pilot, the plane started to go down. Finally, the pilot grabbed a parachute and yelled to the passengers that they better jump, and he bailed it out. Unfortunately, there were only 3 parachutes remaining. A doctor grabbed one and said, "I'm a doctor, I save lives, so I must live," and jumped out. A
Hmm.
lawyer then said, "I'm a lawyer, and lawyers are the smartest people in the world. I deserve to live."
Hmm.
He also grabbed a parachute and jumped. The priest looked at the little boy and said, "My son, I've lived a long life. You are young, and you have your whole life ahead of you. Take the last parachute and live in peace." The little boy handed the parachute back to the priest and said, "Not to worry, father, the smartest man in the world just took off with my backpack." Moral: your job doesn't define you, but being a good human does.
Zara, your turn to ask question.
okay. Um, why do you think the father said to the child that take this parachute? I don't need it.
Because he wanted the child to live, because he's lived a long life and the child is only very young, so it would be very unfair for the child.
He was showing his humanity, kindness, isn't it? Isn't it kindness important?
Yes.
Ah, this is. Do you like this story, Zara?
Yeah, a lot. Like so much.
Do you want a parachute for yourself?
I'm a bit scared of parachuting.
Okay. So, okay, we are nearly very close to ending show. Would you like to say anything before we end, Zara?
Yes, I just wanted to say that this I just liked everybody's story,
Hmm,
even if they said one or two as
hmm,
much.
hmm,
Um, I still like everybody's
hmm,
story. They are quiet, um, nice, and very nice, and I really like them a
hmm.
lot. And I just want to say that
Yeah. You like
everybody,
Khansur?
well done for your hard work and everything for practicing and trying to read properly.
Yeah, that's right. So you like today's episode, Zara?
Yes,
Which
Inshallah.
one was your favorite story?
I like everybody's one.
Okay.
But I like Adian, yours. Three of them were very good and very interesting, and even yours, uncle, they were like like very nice. I liked the first one. It was like it made me laugh so much. I was like,
Okay.
oh my gosh, I've heard this story before, and I'm like, tears were coming out of my eyes.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, Adi, what's your favorite story of the day from
I
Zara?
think my favorite story of the day from Zara was the story where she was talking about the teacher telling the children
Hmm. Okay.
about how about God.
Oh, so knowledge that benefits none.
Mhm. That one.
Hmm. Okay, very good. I think both of you have done very excellent for first show, and I think from Zara, from Adian, we have learned at least we have listened about 7, 8 stories altogether in half an hour, and I think those stories is going to be inspire us and our friends and whoever our audience, whoever our viewers, our friends who are already connected with us now, right now, and maybe who like to share stories, they can also join us in our program. Just email us or just message us. And thank you, Adian and Zara. And mashallah, you are both very gifted and talented. And keep reading new stories. And hopefully, we will come again with another episode. Till then, both of you take care of yourself. And inshallah, very have a blessed time in Ramadan and take care of yourself. Bye for today.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you so much for connecting with us in Inspirational Stories. And thank you for your time. And hopefully, we will connect all of you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.